Get into it. Another massive endorsement. Well, it was an expected endorsement, in my opinion. I saw this coming. This person's been very vocal about the need for Trump to be in office and for Kamala Harris to not be in office. But Trump gets another great endorsement. I'm telling you, this team that Trump's building is just absolutely incredible. You know, everybody knows, when on that faithful day, Elon Musk was like, I fully endorse Trump, hope for his rapid recovery, and then he went on to say this just a few weeks later.
And I'm just trying to point out that my track record historically has been moderate, if not moderate, slightly left. So this is to people out there who are in the moderate camp to say, I think you should support Donald Trump for president. I think it's actually a very important junction in the road, and we're in deep trouble if it goes the other way.
Well, I want to thank you. And, I actually always did think of you as somewhat left. I must say that. So it's
Yeah.
even more of an
Well,
honor to have your endorsement.
A lot of lifelong Democrat, liberal types, left-leaning people have just been endorsing Trump left and right. No pun intended there. We also had Trump say this about Elon Musk, and then I'm going to play the person giving a speech submitting their endorsement. I'm going to play that near the end. Let's get to this.
Elon Musk said that he would accept a position.
Of course I'm listening to it that fast, okay? I'm a machine. I'm a machine.
In your cabinet, would that have to do with artificial intelligence?
So
if
Elon
you chose
and I
him?
have a great relationship. He's great. He is a totally unusual character. Do you know Elon at all?
I don't.
He's great. And he's smart. And we have to cherish our geniuses. We don't have too many of them, right? But he is a brilliant guy. And what he really would like to do is get involved in cutting some of the fat. And he does know how to do it. And he loves the country. It's just an amazing thing. We had a conversation the other day. You would know better than me, but I hear it had hundreds of millions of people. I heard it had the biggest audience that there's ever been. I mean, would you say that's a correct statement?
I would absolutely say
there's
that's
never been
correct.
anything even close. I heard 750 million people. I mean, numbers that are crazy. And yeah, he wants to be involved. Now, look, he's running big businesses and all that, so he can't really, I don't think he'd be for cabinet. I'd put him in the cabinet, absolutely, but I don't know how he could do that with all the things he's got going. But he can sort of, as the expression goes, consult with the country and give you some very good ideas. Like on AI, there's nobody knows more about it than Elon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big thing. And he said it's very important. I mean, it's very important for the country. If we don't do it, China's going to do it, or somebody else, but most likely China. And China is working right now to develop massive electricity, a massive flood of electricity. And we don't, because we have people that they're not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
And we have to win this election. This election November 5th will be the most important day, in my opinion, in the history of our country. Because if our country goes the wrong way with this election, I think this country is doomed.
Very interesting stuff. So he is right. I didn't even think about that and all the hype and everything. But Elon is running some massive businesses. And how will he find the time? Well, here's the thing. That's what we all thought when it came to X. We all thought that 100% he would not be able to do what he's doing. But he did, while simultaneously running some huge companies. He was willing to put a CEO in for X, although I don't like his pick. He did install this woman as the CEO, so maybe he'll end up doing the same. Maybe he'll step back from those businesses. Maybe he realizes that the country is more important than a couple of those businesses, and, maybe he'll just take a lesser role. I think Elon Musk could handle it myself, but there you go. Donald Trump wants to put him in the administration, so if Elon says go in that regard, it's a go. Now, also, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I don't even know if we can call him Junior anymore with this big dog move that he made. Fireworks behind these guys. Somebody holding their sign upside down. Come on, guys. What are you, a Kamala Harris supporter? What's going on over there? sign upside down. That's ridiculous. But everybody knows Robert F. Kennedy. He made some historic moves, a historic speech, noble speech, fully endorses President Trump, and he also announced that he will be hitting the campaign trail alongside President Trump. So he will be speaking at rallies. He will be pushing for Trump more so than even Vivek at this time. He is going to be there at the rallies. Very interesting stuff. Now, the person who Trump has recently gotten for an endorsement, none other than the lady herself. She even made a YouTube video herself. She titled it, "I'm endorsing Donald Trump for president." Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tulsi Gabbard has stepped up and she has announced that she is helping Donald Trump in any way possible. At first, it was just for the debate, but Tulsi has bigger visions. Listen to this speech that she gave.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Aloha. I know we got Hawaii in the house here. There we go. It is a privilege to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters in uniform, especially on this day of all days. I had the privilege of joining President Trump this morning at Arlington Cemetery, where he joined two Gold Star families and loved ones of Staff Sergeant Hoover and Sergeant G, both of whom were two of the 13 killed in the Abbey Gate attack 3 years ago today in Kabul. And I can tell you, as we were there, as he laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, joining these Marines' loved ones, I felt the sorrow that he shared with them in their loss. I felt and saw his sincere appreciation for these servicemen and women who paid the ultimate price and their loved ones who continue to grieve to this day. This is personal for me, as I know it is for so many of you here. This is real. It's not just words. I first deployed to Iraq in 2005 with the Hawaii Army National Guard as a member of Charlie Med. As those of you who were deployed during that time know, it was the height of the war, and sadly, we took many casualties. And every day we were confronted with that high human cost of war and that sadness as we boarded the plane when we left, that we were leaving some of our brothers and sisters behind, only to lose others when we got home to suicide. So I mean what I say when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. We saw this through his first term in the presidency, when he not only didn't start any new wars, he took action to de-escalate and prevent wars. He exercised the courage that we expect from our commander-in-chief in exhausting all measures of diplomacy, having the courage to meet with adversaries, dictators, allies, and partners alike in the pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last resort. The truth is, as we head towards our decision as a country in November, the same cannot be said about Kamala Harris. In fact, the opposite is true, and we're living through this reality today as this administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House, where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief. Because I am confident that his first task will be to do the work to walk us back from the brink of war. We cannot be prosperous unless we are at peace. And we can't live free as long as we have a government that is retaliating against its political opponents and undermining our civil liberties, weaponizing our very institutions against those they deem as a threat. Kamala Harris has done this over the last 3.5 years. She won't hesitate to continue that if she is elected as president. President Trump has been their first and foremost target in this because they don't want us as voters to even have the option to vote for him. I've been their most recent target, added to a secret domestic terror watch list after exposing the truth about what kind of dangers we would face if Kamala Harris is elected as president. We as Americans must stand together to reject this anti-freedom culture of political retaliation and abuse of power. We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future. I am proud to stand here before you today, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. If you love our country, as I do, if you cherish peace and freedom as we do, I invite you to join me in doing all that we can to save our country and elect President Donald J. Trump and send him back to the White House to do the tough work of saving our country and serving the people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Wow. You know, what a shame it is that right now, because of Donald Trump, this is the most praise and actually acceptance that she's gotten since she's been in politics. At first, there was a big rush of it because she was young, she was a person of color, she served, she was all these things that the left really wanted. But then when she actually stood up for freedom of speech and, you know, the people, the left was kind of like, nah, we got this thing that we're trying to do in the next bunch of years. I don't know if you're going to be a fit. And it was so much so that Tulsi had to leave the Democratic Party, and she had to announce that because she knew that it was no longer the party that represented, you know, anti-war, anti-establishment, freedom for people, you know, body autonomy, all those good things that they used to represent. And now the left is the current administration putting her on terrorist watch lists based on nothing. I mean, it's Tulsi Gabbard. Like, it's based on nothing. You know, they even did that to a Green Beret sniper. His name's Mike Glover. They even put him on the terrorist watch list. I feel like they did that to him about last year or maybe like 8 months ago. They just threw him on the watch list. He was somebody who was training people in being prepared. You know, tourniquets, what to do if, you know, God forbid something happens, you know, how to take care of your family, how to prep food, things like that. So they threw him on the watch list. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. Kind of telling when it's all these patriot types, you know. Despite, if you know who Mike Glover is, he's wrapped up in a bit of legal issues right now. Before all that, he was just nothing. He was nothing but a patriot. He was just doing what he had to do, trying to teach people how to survive, you know, away from the state, from the government. I guess that's not the best thing, but yeah, it's very interesting. Not the best thing in their eyes. It's very interesting that this is the most praise she's gotten. It's very interesting that Biden and Harris did not show up to this ceremony that she's talking about, where Donald Trump held the wreath and did the whole ceremony. It was like he was the president already. Biden's not there. Harris didn't show up. Walsh didn't show up. No, just Trump. Just Trump showing up and doing that type of thing. Crazy, because they died because of the way that they were pulled out of Afghanistan. A little crazy that Joe Biden, the person responsible for that, didn't show up. Little crazy, but that's the way they roll. It's very, very interesting, everything that's going on. But again, another massive endorsement. But like I said at the beginning of this whole thing, it was kind of expected. Tulsi was willing to work alongside his campaign in the debate preparation. she's been willing to do a lot for President Trump even beforehand. So now this is an official endorsement. She's working with the campaign. So it's just nothing but good stuff. And it's amazing because it's like RFK, lifelong Democrat. Lifelong Democrat. There's some people in the comments, they're like, oh, actually, he's an independent right now. It's like, bro, did you wake up on Tuesday? What's going on with you? You good? You've been alive for 10 days? Are you okay? RFK is a lifelong Democrat. Go look it up. Lifelong Democrat RFK. You know, Elon Musk says moderate, but he was a darling of the left before he took over X and started being about freedom of speech and all those things. He was a darling of the left. I mean, he dressed up as Satan at one of their gatherings, or Satan's soldiers. I mean, the left just loves, of course they love that, you know? Hasn't done anything like that since. Good for him. But it's just like a lot of lifelong Democrats, powerful people, you know, patriot types, all stepping in and saying Donald Trump needs to be president. It's a wonderful thing to see. And Donald Trump is about to do some real legacy stuff. This is going to be some real legacy stuff. If he has Tulsi around, if he has Elon Musk involved in the administration, RFK involved in the administration, it is going to be a beautiful thing, a very beautiful thing. Now, there might be a little conflict of interests in regards to Elon Musk having control of X and then all of a sudden working so close with the U.S. government or working within the U.S. government. But, you know, it's an overall net good as long as it doesn't go bad. That's all I can say in regards to that. But RFK is a purely net good. You know, a lot of people, one person asked me, why is this a good thing? Because of his stances on gun control. You know, RFK said that he would sign off on banning guns if both sides agreed. He would sign off on that. Very bad stance. He did try to backtrack that, and he was like, both sides never agree on anything. He's like, so by saying that, it's something that I would never do. But it was like, you just don't say those words. His stance on climate control, all that stuff. And listen, what Trump wants him involved in has nothing to do. He'll have no power to be able to take away guns. He'll have no power over the whole climate change narrative. None of that. He's going to be focused on chronic disease, and we know where that's going to lead. It's going to lead NIH, FDA, things of that nature. So he will do nothing but good there. He won't be able to touch on the things where he seems a little radical, you know? So I like it all. I like it all. Tulsi Gabbard, ladies and gentlemen, saying some amazing words. Hopefully she gets into speech writing for Trump as well. Now, I know Trump doesn't always stick to the speeches. Actually, he never does. And truthfully, he always veers off, which I love. But hopefully she gets into that as well. Prepping him for debate, speech writing. Elon Musk starts stepping in, cutting out the fat. All of this could, and then you throw Vivek in there. You got Byron Donalds in there. Like, this is an incredible team, and it's nuts that with those names that I just laid out, it's like half and half, like very bipartisan. It's half and half. I mean, including Trump. You know, that's another Republican, someone who was once a Democrat. It's just, you know, Democrats and Republicans just working together, butting heads where they disagree and coming together where they do agree. And from all those people that I just named, the one thing they agree on is bringing America back to the people, or giving America back to the people, you know? So I love what I'm seeing right now. I just wanted to let that whole speech play out, but expect big things, ladies and gentlemen. Kamala Harris is backing out of debates all of a sudden. September 10th may not happen at ABC because Trump wants hot mics, and she's like, I don't want hot mics. And if you don't know what a hot mic is, Trump wants it, so his mic's on all the time. Why should my mic be off? You're 60 years old, and apparently I'm afraid to debate you. Biden's 157 years old. I'll give him whatever he wants, but you're young. She's almost 20 years younger than Trump. She should be fine with some hot mics. Apparently not. Apparently she might be she backed out of the Fox debate. She would not agree to that. She might be backing out. Oh, geez. She might be backing out of the ABC debate as well. Who's scared now? Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, helps the channel tremendously. And other than that, I'm out.